And happy Friday, everybody. It is a couple days before Christmas, a couple days before Hanukkah, about a week before Christmas. It's cold and outside and going to get a whole lot colder. And we're here safe and warm, about to talk theme parks, working at them, mail, and who knows what else. Well, I'm open to just about anything. So let's roll. So I hope you are staying nice and warm. Looks like we got all sorts of people on, including people already trying to get me to start singing here. Drew's already throwing out the George of the Jungle. Okay, so I won't sing it, but I will tell you, if you're going to do George of the Jungle, you at least have to start it off right and lay down the beat. The dum 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 dum. Okay, and yeah, I would rather do that than the whoop. There he is. But it is good to be here. Like I said, it is cool outside. It's in the 20s here, but we're supposed to end up next Wednesday, I believe. We've got snow coming Monday, and then Wednesday it's supposed to drop down into the single digits and stay nice and cold all the way through Christmas. And Sunday, I'm going to be out there in the right around freezing temperatures for y'all to show you Silver Dollar City. So way overdue to do a live stream in the parks, and we're going to do it. So I'm excited. I actually have not made it out to Silver Dollar City for Christmas this year. That is a horrible crime, and I have to make up for that. I have no idea who else is going to be with me. We will find out. So Caroline is asking, "Hey Megan, how was the movie? I'm guessing you're talking about the Beauty and the Beast tribute." Amber, what did you think?
It was pretty good. The concept art was cool.
It was pretty good. Concept art was cool. I don't know if you can hear her or not. So let me know. It was actually kind of funny because my dog was actually singing right before we came on. So yeah, Craig, you wouldn't have had my singing, but you would have had the dog. So let's see. News coming up. That was a weird thing floating around. We are working on trip plans. I did announce a little bit ago that we are swinging. Oh, Caroline can hear you, Amber. We've got a big summer trip coming up where we will be hitting a couple small parks. We'll be back at Cedar Point. We're going to Dorney, to Knoebels, to Kennywood. And there are a couple other additions that may happen and other stuff. So we will kind of go from there. We will be at Dragon Con next Labor Day weekend, first part of September. So excited about that. There may be a couple other trips coming in. So all sorts of possibilities there. But we'll have lots of opportunities to meet people. Josh, at Silver Dollar City for Christmas with a friend. Silver Dollar City is just amazing Christmas. That's why I'm like, it's a crime. Craig, so my latest video was all theoretical. No, it's born from full experience of everything there. Will the train robbers be taking snowballs? Well, okay, so that actually leads me into one thing here. First off, during Christmas, there are no train robbers. They normally would have Grandpa out there telling the Christmas story. However, the train is, at this point, I would say it's safe to say the train is not going to be running through the rest of this year, at least. It looks like it's going to be next year. The state report has not come out yet, and they're not going to run that train until the state report does come out and they can address whatever it says. I am aware of some things which I can't say what's in the report because I obviously have not seen it. But I think it is safe to say that Silver Dollar City is not necessarily going to be held at fault. I have some theories, some knowledge, but I'm not really at freedom to comment on that. I would really rather wait until the park and the state report come out and they can address it. So that's kind of where we go. But it won't be running this year. It should be back next year, though. I do know that they have been working on getting the second set of train cars all finished and ready to go. So they will be ready for next year. I don't know what the condition of the cars that tipped are. or what's going to happen with that. So a lot of things at this point we just don't know until they do decide to do something. I do know that at least one of the engineers, not as a result of the accident at all, but I do know one of the engineers has moved on, and I'm waiting to hear from some of the others about, uh, kind of what happened there. Uh, just a lot I can't say. What I do know, and there's a lot I don't know. So, a couple things that I can say though. So at my current other paid job, we actually got a new employee that started a couple weeks ago who just happens to be another former train robber. Plus, at my wife's school, one of the guys that I rob trains with has just started working there as well. So we are trying to work on getting everybody together, hopefully on camera, and start swapping stories and things like that. So I am really excited about that possibility. I don't have a timeline, but look for that after the holidays. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's very possible we could swap more stories than time would allow. So, what have the train workers been doing all this time? There's still plenty of work. They've got one of the engines that they've been in the process of giving a major overhaul to. There's been a couple other pieces that have needed some work. So they have been able to spend the time in the roundhouse getting all of that work done that normally would be done in the off season and spread out over a year. They're being able to speed it up and get a lot more done. So they're actually moving forward on a lot of things that normally they wouldn't be able to address. So and it's helped them be able to address some things on the other set of cars that they've wanted to do, and so they've had time to do some of the catch-up work as well as kind of working ahead in advance, doing some of the rehab work that they would have been spreading out over the season. Next year, they're actually even able to get started on it now. So they have definitely been busy. I've been getting some comments from them that it's been actually kind of nice for them to be able to spend the time together and to work on this stuff and to get it done. So, not the circumstances they wanted to have, but it does work. So, what months of the year is Silver Dollar City open? March through New Year's. They actually will be open New Year's Eve. I think New Year's Day is their last official day of operations. And then they open up again mid to end of March. Everything okay? What you guys doing? Taking a dog out? See the family moving back there, and it's like, but yeah, they'll be open basically January, or they'll be closed January, February, and about half of March. So the Christmas lights on the train, are they 12 volt or they use a 12 volt to 120 volt converter? They actually mount generators on the right behind the engines, gas generators to power the lights. So they are regular old Christmas lights, LEDs. So okay, there you go. But yeah, they actually had the trains, all the lights on them a couple months ago. And Brendan, last day is the 30th, closed New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So they decided not to do the New Year's Day thing, which honestly I was not surprised at. They had tried New Year's Eve and New Year's Day a couple times in the past, and the crowds weren't there, and it was too cold. So I think they realized that was kind of a failed experiment. So, Drew, squirrel, where? I like squirrels, especially on the barbecue. Any case, I do have some mail to open. Let's see. Oh, okay. I noticed a conversation with Abby and Craig, and I'm kind of going, what? Is it me? It's not me. But a little bit of mail to open up. I'm trying to remember what else there is. There is some construction work going out at Cedar Point with what used to be Top Thrill Dragster, but they still have not talked about what that is yet. So we're kind of waiting to see. Worlds of Fun is opening Zambezi Zinger, a new wood coaster next year, which I will be on. And they actually released a picture I saw today. It's going to have the lowest to ground turn of any wood coaster out there. And it's right on the ground. It looks really cool. Jacob, any park tales coming up? I had one Tuesday. Did you not see it? It's typically every Tuesday. But I will, like I said, I'll be in the park, Silver Dollar City, Sunday, so I will record something for next Tuesday as well. Do Branson activities places have an off season? Yep. Branson pretty much shuts down January and February, and there's not much open. There actually are a couple shows that will run year round, but most of the town closes. I know indoor things will stay open. So the escape rooms, the big climbing things. So there are things that are open, but a lot of the shows will shut down and they'll work on new shows. A lot of the outdoor activities shut down because it's just too cold. So, but it's kind of weird. As a local, the off season, January, February, March, is when we will actually drive on Highway 76, the main road through town. The rest of the year, we don't go anywhere near it. So, you should do a review on the Lantern Tour one of these days. I have not actually done the Lantern Tour. So one of these times I'm going to do it. I just haven't done it yet. So one of these days. It's definitely on my list of stuff I want to do. There's a number of things I definitely want to do. I'm actually talking with a couple people at the Chamber of Commerce in Branson, trying to work out opportunities to do several other things here in town. I keep meaning to get some time to just drive around town and film some of these other things that people may not even be aware of are here in town, like the 1984 arcade and the zoo and some of this other stuff. So one of these days. Josh, how much extra is the Lantern Tour? I believe it's $10. And it's the last tour of the day is when they do it. And yeah, poor Craig, he's been there twice. And once was for COVID, and the other time, I think it was closed because of rain, if I remember right. Yeah, if it's raining, the cave isn't open. But I will do that one of these times. There's a number of things that I have not done that I would really like to. So yeah, trying to talk with Chamber and a couple other things. I am waiting to hear back from several different people at Silver Dollar City about doing videos. And hey, good to have you on. If you guys ever want to see some fun, and actually, if you go back and you look at my videos, I did 2 videos where I was talking to a gentleman about Celebration City and stuff like that. That would be the Magic Guy. So you need to go back and look at those. They were fun videos, and he does some great stuff. Greg, only the one day? For some reason, I was thinking 2. Okay. The old brain. Do I think they'll leave the old Fire in the Hole ride? No. So here's what's happening with Fire in the Hole. This is going to be Fire in the Hole's last year, this one coming up. This year was supposed to be the last one, but construction delays held up the new version, so it is way behind. So next year will be Fire in the Hole's last season. I have no idea what the new ride's going to be like. Not a clue. And I don't know if they're going to take the stuff that's in the old one and move it over. I don't know if they're going to rebuild everything new. I don't know if it's going to be a completely different story or what. But when they open the new Fire in the Hole, the old one is closing. One of the major reasons they're building a new one is because the building that the old one is in is just starting to get worn down. It's not dangerous at all, but it is reaching a point where it is going to start costing more money to keep it up than it is worth. So they're basically replacing it. As far as what is going to go into that spot, there are a few rumors out there. I know that there was one guy that he is absolutely adamant that is where the new train station is going to be. This is the same guy that predicted they were going to move the entrance a few years back, and they were going to build a whole new Echo Hollow. And yeah, so don't put a whole lot of stock in that. Honestly, that little corner of the park is kind of congested. I would see them, if anything, I see them possibly using it as a means to provide an open access further out in the park rather than build something else in there. But we will have to wait and see. So, Jacob, yes, even though the train isn't running, they do still have the Grandpa Show going on. It is on a little stage. near Tom and Huck's River Blast, which is closed for the winter. And but so they are still doing the Grandpa Show. It's just not the same. So Brandon, are any of the Celebration City rides still there? No. Nope. I think the go-kart track is still there, but all the rides have long been removed. The last one that was still there was the Ozark Wildcat, and they tore it down a few years ago. So nope, nothing. In fact, even the buildings that are there, the one theater is actually being used as a church now. And most the Silver Dollar City uses the storage buildings and stuff, but there really isn't anything left of Celebration City anymore. It's being used for other stuff. So no rides. It's kind of sad. What happened to the park? So the park opened up independent, and it was open in the evenings. Silver Dollar City was open daytimes. And the Hershans went, you know what? This could totally work as a double punch. And so they bought it, thinking that they could do tickets and have people go to Silver Dollar City in the day and then go to Celebration City at night. Except it didn't work that way. They found that people were doing one or the other, not both. It's almost the same thing that happened with Geauga Lake. Same kind of idea. Oh, we'll double our attendance. And they found that attendance instead was that they were competing with each other instead of building each other up. What are you doing, dog? Dog's making a mess. So basically, they realized that they were starting to put themselves out of business, and it wasn't working. So they decided to close down Celebration City because it was much smaller, didn't do as much. My dog is climbing into a bag. Weirdo. And that's basically what happened. And so they shut it down because it just was not doing what they had hoped to. So, yeah, Megan used to walk Celebration City for security. I've heard lots of stories about the old Celebration City at night. Abby, do I still know some of the train robbers? Yes, I actually know just about everybody out there. Engineers, mechanics, and most of the people who do the conducting and robbing. So there's something about the community that when you have been a train robber, you are known, and the people that are on the train kind of introduce you and pass on the generations. So when I show up, they know who I am, and I know who most of them are. And it makes it nice because it gives you commonality, so you can talk about things that other people don't. It does mean that we drive people slightly crazy because, like I said, I had somebody come on who started working with me at my other job who's also a former train robber, and somebody said something. I don't even remember what it was, but it was one of the lines from the train, and both of us just started rolling with the robbery show. And they were kind of going, where did that come from? Like, sorry, once a robber, always a robber. So, have I ever thought of reenacting the train conductor like I did with the right? That is actually on my list. Okay, so let's see here. Without actually showing it to you, let's see. We'll do it this way. There you go. So yes, I'm absolutely in the process of working on that. That's there just kind of a backup because I do have most of it memorized. I've got the green screen set up where I will be filming the boarding spiel that we did, and then I haven't decided yet if I'm going to just do voiceover for the rest of it, or if I'm actually going to film green screen and then put me down the corner. I think that's the route I'm going to go. And I've got onboard footage of the whole entire train ride. So I'm going to basically splice me in doing the conductor spiel the old way. I don't know if I'm going to include the robbery yet. Probably not, because that might make it too long. And I may just provide a link into the robbery to the robbery instead. But I haven't fully decided. But that's actually it may be next week's confessions. We'll see what the holidays do, but that is definitely what I'm shooting for. Ginger, you're not going shopping. Dumb dog. But yeah, I absolutely have thought about reenacting it, and and doing the old lines, especially because some of what we did, they don't do anymore. For example, the don't pull the pull cord or we'll arrange an emergency and holding up the shotgun. And then with this most recent accident, I fully expect the wreck of the old 82 to disappear. So I don't think they will be doing that line anymore. Yeah. Every time he talks about Rhino Raleigh, I think, now don't say Tim. It used to be Mike. Yes, Tim. It was Tim, not Mike. So, let's see here. Do they still have the same code words? Do you mean the walkie-talkie lingo? Yes. Yeah. Once you learn that. Yeah, Brendan, no longer the only tragedy in the history of the Frisco Silver Dollar Line. Yeah. I am sure that line, that whole segment's going to be removed. I don't know what they're going to talk about there, but yes, they do still have the same code words out there. So when I am when I'm walking through the park and I hear the radios, I know what they're saying. There's a number of former employees that still go out to the park, and yes, no reason to change them because then you confuse everybody. So they're not going to change it because then the people will be like, "What? I know what the old code was. What's the new one?" Do I think the train will be different next year? The one part, like I said, the wreck of the 82 will definitely be different. That I am sure of. The rest of it, I don't think it's going to be any different other than the evolution that has been going on. Amber, can you just get the bag away from Ginger? Nope, you're okay. She's just being a goober. They have been reducing a lot of the stuff, especially anything to do with guns. They have been cutting back on. They have definitely been slowly PCing the train, so it has definitely been changing that way some, and I think some of that will probably continue. But the main thing of the train though won't change, just the one segment. Yeah, code words like protein spill. That's a Disney code word. So Silver Dollar City didn't really use that one. They would just say, hey, can we get custodial down here for a cleanup? And most of the time, yeah. Let's see, code Southwest. SirWillow's ready. No, that wouldn't, I think it'd be more like a code 7, which if you know what a code 7 is, it's not good. I thought Fire in the Hole was going to turn into the Fire Ride from Dollywood. Actually, backwards. The Blazing Fury at Dollywood is actually a copy of Fire in the Hole from Silver Dollar City. Because Silver Dollar City at one point, the gentleman who bought it bought what is now Dollywood. It was Red River, something like that. Renamed it Silver Dollar City, Tennessee, and actually copied some of the rides, like Fire in the Hole. They had a grandfather's mansion that was there, a flooded mine, and a few other things. And so they copied some of the stuff. So Blazing Fury is their copy of Fire in the Hole. And it's not quite the same. It is similar. Same layout, same kind of vehicles. But because you didn't have the bald knobbers in Tennessee, there is a little bit of changes and transition. So it's more a salute to firefighters as a whole. So, has anybody tried to spread their loved ones' ashes at Silver Dollar City? We don't talk about that. It's like Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. Unfortunately, you have people that do dumb, stupid stuff like that. Don't do it. Even at Disney, because you then it's a biohazard. So you have to close everything down and clean it all up and sanitize it. Oh my goodness, it's a mess. Absolute mess. Not fun. So I am aware of one instance of something similar to that. And yeah, it was. And thank you very much, Richard. That is so sweet. Thank you. I'm blessed. Merry Christmas to you too. Hope you're not too cold up there in Canada. I don't know if the cold fronts hit you guys yet. It should probably about now. So hopefully you're not married, but thank you. That is a wonderful blessing. I appreciate it. So making the 2319. I don't know. Can I say that one? I'll have to think about that. Craig, a salute to all first responders, but mostly firefighters. If I go to any theme park, which one would it be? Actually, the plans are to hit several of them, possibly next summer. Really, the big ones I want to go to now are out of the country, and I was hoping to get to a couple, and it didn't happen. Tokyo Disney, I really thought that was going to happen, and then COVID killed it. But Tokyo Disney is a big one, and then there's a couple in Europe I absolutely would love to get to sometime, but I don't know. We will see. So, is it a glorious 3-hour salute? Oh, yes. I was actually quoting that. By the way, if you don't know what they're referring to, this is from Muppets 3D at Disney, and it's Sam the Eagle announcing the end. It's a glorious 3-hour finale with a salute to all nations, but mostly America. You've got 2 minutes. So, I love that show. I'm going to be so sad when they eventually close that, and it's going to happen at some point. But I don't know. Yeah, Brendan, 1.5 minutes. Sorry. I will hate when it's gone. Yes, Muppet 3D is classic. Important to the history of Jim Henson. It's the last Muppet thing Jim Henson really worked on. So, well, I tried to hit theme parks in Israel. There really aren't any theme parks. There are 2 amusement parks in Israel. I actually tried to get to them last time we were there, but they were already closed. I missed one by a week. But yes, absolutely. When we do get to go to Israel, and the plan right now, we are actually planning on trying to go back as students to study Hebrew and to learn. And I also, if this all works out, and this is early, but we want to go study and learn. But I also hope to be able to do YouTube videos there while we're studying what it's like to live in Israel as a non-Jewish American. And so I think if we can get it all worked out, it'll be a lot of fun. I would create another channel. It wouldn't be on this one. This would still continue to be the Confessions of a Theme Park Worker. It's still focused on amusement parks and stuff. But yeah, that's the hope, is to be able to get another regular channel going. As part of it. So that would give me 3 I'm supposed to update. And I am going to be filming another update for the Burning Bush one because I haven't done it in a month. It's been busy. It has been really busy. We have been more busy in the last 2-3 months than we were when we were pastoring. But we're so much less stressed. It's definitely different. So favorite ride in Fantasyland, whichever one I'm on. I love them all. If I absolutely got pinned down, I could narrow it down to 3. It would be Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Alice in Wonderland, and the Storybook Canal Boats. Absolutely love them. Those would probably be the 3. But can I tell you a little about Discovery Island? Discovery Island was closed by the time I moved there. And basically what it was you've got the Ticket and Transit Center, you've got the Magic Kingdom, and then can't remember if I think it's actually over in Bay Lake, which is the other side. There was an island that was in the middle of this lake that was a decent size, and so they actually built a very small wildlife park on it. And it was open for a short time, for a few years. People could go visit there. And then when they opened up Animal Kingdom, they basically took everything that was on Discovery Island, moved it to Animal Kingdom, and which right around the tree happens to be called Discovery Island. And at that point, since they moved everything over, they closed down the old one and left it abandoned. And it's actually no trespassing, illegal to go there. So don't get caught walking around on it. But it's now been abandoned. So heading to bed. Have a good night, Jacob. So, but I never got to go to it. Never did. So, can I tell you more about SDC? What do you want to know? I mean, I could tell you all sorts of things, but it doesn't mean that you want to know it. So, and it may, you know, some of it'll be stuff like, what rides are there? Look at their website. That's easier. But if you want to know other things about details, I could definitely do that. Crazy stories like finding a cat inside a ride. True story. One of the rides there up at the Grand Expo, the ride operator she ran the ride, and she and the guests said there's a weird noise there. So she stopped the ride and was listening. There's definitely a weird noise going on. And this is one of the rides that spins. And so she shut the ride down, called maintenance. So I don't know what this noise is, but there's something strange there. And you're basically told, if you hear something weird, shut it down for safety. So maintenance came up and they're inspecting and they can't find anything wrong, but they're starting to hear this noise too. What on earth? And they actually crawled under and they found a kitten that had crawled up inside the ride. So if I could go back and work on the Frisco Silver Dollar Line, would I do it? Nope. And I know you're probably surprised because I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I would like to go out and do it again for a day or two, but as far as regular work, several reasons. No, one, I don't want to have to be out there in the weather, the heat and the cold. And as cold as it is right now, I'm going, oh, thank you. I'm not riding the back of that train over and over and freezing. So there's that, dealing with the weather, the people and that stuff. The other reason, honestly, is because if I started working at Silver Dollar City, I would have to shut the channel down because it creates a conflict of interest. Because if I'm working, I'm then an official representative of the park and I have to stay within their guidelines and clear everything through PR and nope. So no, I would not. I'd love to do a guest day robbing for charity. I doubt it will ever happen because of insurance and liability concerns. But no, I don't expect to ever work at a theme park again. The health is just, the age is starting to get there too, where those long days just don't do good for this old body. So let's see. Let's see. Just wondering, the lady I know that worked at heard a lot of turmoil when Animal Kingdom first opened. A lot of the workers weren't carried on to Animal Kingdom. That's interesting. I was not there during the transition, so I don't know. I hadn't heard anything about that, but that'd be hard to say. So really don't know. What's my least favorite story? That's even harder than a favorite to pick. Favorite story. I've got hundreds of them. My least favorite? Where would I even begin with that? I'm not sure. Silver Dollar City also have feral cats. No, but it does have wild cats. So neat story. I was out, and I told this in a video once, but I was out at the depot in the morning before the park opened. One of our deals was we actually had the blower machines to blow off the dust and the twigs and the leaves and stuff. And so I was out there blowing out the station and the dock and getting it all cleaned up. And I look out in the woods and there's this cat out there. And I'm like, whose stray cat is out here in the woods? What's it doing? And as I'm starting to walk up and it shut off the blower, I realize this cat's a little bit bigger than the stray cat. There's a bobcat right there looking at me. And then he comes running up my direction. It turns out he was actually going out of the depot. He was hiding under there. But yeah, that scared the stuffing out of me. Hello, bobcat. So, do I know what happened to Dickens at Silver Dollar City? Okay, so unofficially, and I don't know all of the details, but here's what I can tell you of Silver Dollar City. The music that they used to use in Dickens was all copyrighted music with a couple exceptions like Ave Maria. So you had songs from the Polar Express, from The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, from the Dickens musical. They had adjusted the words, but it was still all copyrighted music. I don't know if their use of copyrights ran out or maybe they hadn't checked on copyrights and they got caught, or what the deal was. But what I do know is that there was issues with them using that music because it was copyrighted, and then the licensing to do so. I don't know if um, the cost to renew the copyrights was too much, or possibly they were told they were no longer allowed to use it, or what. I don't have any knowledge of that. What I do know is because of the copyright issues, whatever they were, they could no longer use those songs, and so they had to substitute in uh, music that was written specifically for the show. So yeah, I do miss the songs, but I completely understand if they're not going to come out and say, "Hey, folks, we were told we legally can't do this anymore," because that doesn't sound good. But that's why it has to do with copyrights. And having been on both sides of that issue, having my stuff taken and used by other people for money without permission, and at the same time getting stuck because there's some song playing in the background I can't shut off. I understand both sides of it. Um, like I said, I don't know the specifics, but I have a feeling that there was probably a slip up in there somewhere that may have caused more issues. But yeah, I don't really know. What's my thoughts on the new Willow? I am still waiting to see it. I haven't had time, but I can tell you I got this. So I just haven't had a chance to see it. I actually I started watching the original movie again just to kind of refresh, and haven't finished it. So I'm sure as a former employee of the park who worked on the train, you were heartbroken. That would be an understatement. I probably drove my family a bit crazy because I was pacing and prowling the news and getting any information and stuff and checking on my friends. And yeah, that was a rough night. It was a rough night. Brendan, the songs are now essentially Animaniacs parodies. The songs are similar, but like I said, they're unique. You can see some similarities, but they're definitely not there. The Magic Guy, the Dickens show is better now than before. I'll be honest, when I first saw it, I was kind of like, well, it's different. But as I've watched it a few more times, both live and then through video again, honestly, the songs have started to catch on just as much. So I think it's something that if we kind of say, okay, look, it is what it is. It's there's parts of the original I do like. I hear he's a mean one, Mr. Grinch, and I start quoting he's a mean one, Mr. Scrooge. So there's definitely things I like better and things I don't. It's just different. So and that's just kind of what you have to get used to. So finally finished Andor tonight. I really enjoyed Andor. It is a little darker take on stuff, definitely, but I enjoyed Andor. And then there's a question that I don't know the answer to. Have I ever tried Fiver News? Yeah, what? What is that? I have no idea. Okay, time to do some typing to find out what this is. BFFER. Which Fiver News? Cookies. No, I have not. I have not tried those. We did just make our family recipe cookies, which, okay, so here's a neat story for you. We were doing a presentation a couple days ago about Hanukkah and some of the roots and stories. And so I looked up some of the Hanukkah treats and stuff. And as I'm looking through these different things, I went, wait a minute, this one's familiar. Way before I was born, my grandmother started making a cream cheese cookie. And it's a simple recipe, 6 ingredients. You can roll it out, do cookie cutters and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, we've used it for honestly generations. Well, as I'm looking at these Hanukkah treats, I'm realizing that one of them, rugelach, the cookie part of it, is my old family recipe. Now, what they do is they take it, they roll it out like a croissant, a big triangle, and then they add in a fruit filling, roll it up, and then bake it. But I'm like, that's our cookie. So I have no idea where the family picked it up, but it's basically the same. There's a lot of variations of it, but the basic recipe is just about the same. So I thought that was rather interesting. Um, let's see. We can use SirWillow things to make a few bucks. Give me 25 or I'll play this clip. There's only one problem with that, Mike. That'd be awesome. Hey, pay money now or I'll sing. Except people can just click close and stop watching. So let's see. When it was your last day as a robber, did they give me a cake in the in the break room? Nope. No, actually what happened the time I resigned, I left at the end of October, right before Christmas. The person who had been our lead had actually also just resigned a few weeks before, and like 2 or 3 weeks before. And so he had actually already left. So we had a goodbye for him. And then I left, and we had another one leave shortly after too. So there were several of us that all kind of left it around the same time. So so no, we didn't have a big party that way. It would have been nice, but it would have been kind of awkward too. So would I ever go to IAPA in the future? I really wanted to go when I lived down in Orlando and never did. If I had the opportunity to go to IAPA, absolutely. Now, if you don't know what IAPA is, it is the International Amusement and Parks Association. I believe that's what it is. Let's see. Global Association for the Attractions Industry. International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions. There it is. They have a huge convention down in Orlando. I actually know people who run businesses that go there, and they bring down rides sometimes for people to try and announcements and stuff. It is the big, huge amusement park convention. I would love to go to IAPA. Unfortunately, budgets and time and it's expensive to get into it. In fact, let me see here. So it's November next year, November 13th through 17th. And I'm kind of curious how much it was to get in. Pricing. It doesn't say offhand how much it was, but it's not cheap. It's not cheap. We should do a review of SeaWorld Ohio. Hey, you want to see a SeaWorld Ohio? Go look up ski show boat in crowd. That'll be SeaWorld Ohio. Oh, so if you get off duty and are going through the park, do you need to stay in character? At Disney, when you're off duty, you're not supposed to go through the park generally. There's some parks you have to, but for the most part, you are supposed to go outside the park. Silver Dollar City, you go through it, but Silver Dollar, in both cases, you're just an employee, a cast member, so you're not really a character. If you're a costume character, you're not wearing your costume when you're off duty. So, but if you are a regular employee, if I was a train robber, for example, the end of the day, the train would actually pick us up and we would leave out through the maintenance area. So we didn't go through the park that way. But we had a couple times where, for various reasons, the train had shut down for weather or there was a mechanical issue. And so we were up at the depot. Yep, stayed in character that whole time. Absolutely. So if you are walking through a park in costume, you are expected to act like an employee on duty on your way through it until you are out. So does Dollywood have an off season? Yes. Theirs is almost identical to Silver Dollar City. Again, because of the weather. So let's see here. Favorite Christmas cookie? Our family cookie. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to think here. Okay, so our family cookie, we call them cream cheese cookies. It's a basic form of rugelach. So here's the recipe for it. And so if you got a pen and paper and you want to know, these are amazing cookies. And I need to start opening mail. So it is 2 cups of flour. Sorry, 3 cups flour. 3 cups flour. 1 cup of sugar. 3 ounces of cream cheese. 1 stick of butter. 1 egg, and a teaspoon of vanilla. Mix it up real fine. Whip the butter and cream cheese if you can first, and then add in the rest. Bake it at 350 for 10 minutes. We use cookie cutters and a cookie press. If you've ever seen a cookie press, it's nice. You just squeeze these things out like mad. But we love them. Absolutely love them. So, let's see. Anyone ever gotten married to Silver Dollar City? Absolutely. In the chapel all the time. Quite often. So, being Jewish, when we were kids, my mom would tell us no tree, but we can get a Hanukkah bush. Nice. We've actually got our Hanukkah pulled out. We will set it up tomorrow because Sunday starts Hanukkah. Yes, we do celebrate Hanukkah and Christmas. We don't do the gifts for Hanukkah, but we do the lighting of the candles every night. So let me get a couple of these things. I've got a couple cards. This is from Robert Rothenberg. There we go. Having an awesome time here in Orlando. Went to Universal yesterday. Do you consider E.T. a roller coaster? My buddy and I had a debate about this. There's the card. Is E.T. at Universal Orlando a roller coaster? Nope. It's a dark ride. It never actually rolls and coasts. It is on a powered track that keeps it moving the whole time. So no, E.T. is not a roller coaster. It's a dark ride. Powered system the whole way. And yes, absolutely love that card. That is awesome. No, anything that's powered the whole way is not a roller coaster. It's why I don't consider Casey Jr. train at Disneyland a roller coaster. It's a train, and it's a powered train. So it never really rolls and coasts. There was a huge online debate on whether the old Intamin first generation drop rides were roller coasters. And so Dive Devil at Cedar Point and the Edge at the Great Americas and stuff like that. Nope. I had somebody get really mad at me when I explained why it wasn't a roller coaster. Like, but I want to count it. I'm like, you can count it. I don't care, but not a roller coaster. It's a drop tower. So, did I see the video brick and mortar did on the Branson duck sinking? No, I did not. I'm not sure I could. I've got too many friends who were directly affected by that. I don't know. I'll see. They opened up a new ride, the Ducks, here in town, and different vehicles, entirely different company, but it's one of those that just too soon. Joel, ET is one of my favorite rides. I fear Creative has it in their crosshairs. I'm honestly surprised it's still there. We loved it, absolutely loved it, but yeah, I think it's dated. Wonderful Life ever coming back. Licensing again, it's done. I think you're gonna still get the generic shows every year. So sorry. Let's see here. Card from Rachel Dunn. There you go. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Oh, how cute. Says, Dear Bernash family, hope you have a Merry Christmas, a blessed New Year. Sincerely, Rachel. Stitch and the Chipmunks. Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. So, let's see here. Well, I tried to make it out to the new Super Mario Land at Universal Hollywood when it opens. When it opens, no. I don't have plans to hit the parks out in California again anytime soon. I would love to. If the opportunity came up, I would. But costs and there's other things happening. I have a feeling that something like that's going to be a ways away. Just being honest, we are working on a potential speaking engagement in Southern California, either in March or June. That might give an opportunity, but I don't know. I don't expect another Southern California theme park trip anytime soon. Again, maybe with those, when that trip, if it does work out, I may go swing and hit something, but we'll see. Okay. What do you think Silver Dollar City should add to the park that they haven't done yet? Several things. They need another dark ride, an indoor ride that all the families can ride. So definitely a um, a new um, a new dark ride. I would love to see a mine train style roller coaster, kind of out a little bit. I don't know why they haven't done a roller coaster themed to a runaway mine train. Thunderation, sort of, but I like to see a little bit more theming with it. Um, there's, oh goodness, I of course, roller coasters are great. I would like to see them add more family stuff though that families can do together, and hopefully expand out into the woods a little bit. Dollywood has more than doubled, almost tripled in size since 2004 when I was there, and Silver Dollar City has only added about another 10%. So there's a lot they could add. I think they need more indoor stuff for when storms hit, because right now they've only got two things that can be open during storms, and they're going to move one of them. So, um, yeah. Do I like water rides? Absolutely, just on the cold. Let's see. Caroline, send you the cookie recipe. Um, okay, so what I'll do when the video's done and it posts up, I will add it into the comments. I'll put it in a sticky note, and I'll put the recipe there. So, could the old fire in the whole building house a new dark ride? No, that building is going to be bye-bye. The building is done. It is shot. The reason they are replacing Fire in the Hole is because that building is approaching end of life. So it'll go. Needs a Dalmatian themed ride. They've got a Dalmatian themed ride. Think Dumbo, except instead of elephants, it's Dalmatians. And it gets huge lines with the kids. Kids love it. So yes, they have the flying Dalmatians. So yeah, it's a cute ride. It's actually really, really well done. But yeah, lots of people I know, well, maybe they'll put something else in the old Fire in the Hole building and stuff. No, the one thing I'm confident of, when they get the new Fire in the Hole opened, the old Fire in the Hole building is getting leveled. So let's see here. So we've got, this is from Judy. Judy always sends amazing things. She's got this incredible envelope and several things in here. Oh, wow. Okay. So let me see if I can show these one at a time. We've got some coasters. I love that shot of us. By the way, those shirts are going to make another appearance next summer. So that's coming up. And then you got that one. That's awesome. And oh, this is cute. Wow. Okay, so this is a little picture frame. So Judy's been snagging all my pictures and doing some great stuff with them. That is amazing. That is really cool. And then there's playing cards. And I love this back. Oh, that was a great group of guys there. But yes, Silver Dollar City. That's so cool. So cool. And then there's one more thing here. It's actually in a bag. Oh my. Okay. So we've got the Epcot ball. And then on the other side, Pigment. Oh, that's amazing, Judy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What do you most want for Christmas? Let's see. My bills paid. No. My goodness. Honestly, I'm going to have what I most want for Christmas this year. Well, for the most part, my family's going to be here. We're going to have a day off. The first time in 11 years, I'm going to have a day off for Christmas. Actually, longer than that. Because I'm not going to be working at the theme park. I'm not going to be preparing church services or preaching. We're kind of looking at this year and going, we get to relax this year. It's amazing how different Christmas is when you're the one running the church. So we are excited to have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and nothing to do except enjoy and be with family and friends and eat and enjoy company. There won't be a whole lot under the tree, but that's okay. We are so blessed with this house and where we are. Yeah, Drew's kind of joking. George wants his mortgage paid off, but so yes, it's kind of a joke. But honestly, we're so blessed. I was saying the other day, I really need to do an updated behind the scenes video for my patrons and YouTube members. That's absolutely overdue. So that's going to be coming up soon too. But the way this area turned out from what it was even a month and a half after we moved in, it is comfy. It's cozy. There's still a couple things we want to get for it, like a reading chair and table and a working table. But this room, I love being in this room. It's cozy. It's got the library, and I can't wait to show all of that off. My daughter is excited because her stuff is coming along. She's remodeling and putting in her apartment and just laid down part of the floor. And it's got color throughout the house. We're just like, we're so blessed. What else do we need? Joel, sorry about the bills. And honestly, the bills aren't bad. They're not anywhere near as what we were expecting. But we're, our overall payments on all of them is actually still less than what we had originally budgeted on it. So we're really, we're not hurting for money. Believe it or not, we're actually more stable financially now than we were before we bought the home. Doesn't mean we have extra. So like I said, but we enjoy what we've got. So we're really blessed in that way. So yeah, it's nice that way. We're looking forward to a relaxing Christmas for a change. So have two new siblings at Christmas that we adopted. That is amazing. That's awesome. Congratulations. House tour. I may do that as part of the behind the scenes thing for the patrons. So if you want to see the whole thing, you gotta sign up to support. I would love to show off a lot more behind the scenes stuff, but it is one of my incentives for my financial supporters. So I try to make sure that they get the access, and I'm overdue for doing that. So it's one of the perks of support. And I don't want to slam that over your head, but like I said, supporters do get perks. I was on Zoom call earlier today with several of them. So Caroline actually got to experience her first Zoom call with the supporters and had a lot of fun with that. So I'm grateful for that. So I do a number of things with those who support financially. Hopefully all got their Christmas cards already. So Drew, it's a really nice house. He's seen it in person. Drew blew me away. He drove down from his home way up there and drove down and helped us move. We would have died without him helping us. And Drew, it's so much nicer now than when you were here because we've gotten so much stuff done. But yes, Drew has seen it. Brendan has seen it. And they can tell you we're blessed. We're blessed. So, one last envelope here. This is actually from Craig. So to SirWillow. And he's got a number of things in here. Let's see if I can show them off. There's several brochures. Let's see. So the Steamboat Natchez cruises. City and Cemetery bus tours. Oh, this is all from New Orleans, I believe. Yeah, in the French Quarter. So swamp. You can actually do these in Florida too, but cool. Airboats. So yeah, if you ever get a chance to go to New Orleans, there's some neat stuff here. Let's see. See if we can spread these out a little bit. So there you go, the Mardi Gras costume experience. That would be interesting. That really would. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see, World War II campus guide. Oh, about the Tuskegee Airmen. Tuskegee. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see, World War II. Honor all who served. National World War II Museum. I didn't know there was a National World War II Museum. That is very cool. Official Visitors Guide. So, hey, if I ever get down to New Orleans, I got some stuff to use now. And then, of course, you've got the map. Awesome. Thank you so much, Craig. Cool stuff. So, Caroline, forgot to check the mail yesterday. It went to your address that is on your Patreon. If I think I sent one. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure you're on there. So whatever address set to your Patreon is wherever it went. So let's see. Any news on the train around Magic Kingdom Walt Disney World? I've heard they've been doing test runs. That's about all I know. I don't know any more on that than anybody else does. I know they've done test runs on it, and they've done test runs on Tron. So soon, no idea when soon is. Have I been to the Titanic Museum during its Christmas theme? No, I have not. That's another thing I'd like to do. We were hoping actually to do a little bit more this Christmas, and we haven't had much of a chance to do some of it. You know what? Just thinking days this week. We might actually I work Monday and Tuesday. We may be able to pull in a thing or two this next week and see. I would love to do it. So, is Garfield's any good? I have not been to Garfield's. Don't know. Sorry. Back. Funny how the guests need help when you're at work. I mean, guests wanting help while you're working? What's the deal with that? Guests are so annoying. I mean, so. But I think that's most of the news that I've covered. And we are working on finalizing plans for the trip next summer. There I think is going to be at least one change and or addition. So that's why I'm not announcing a lot of it, but Kennywood, Knoebels, Cedar Point, Dorney, those are definitely on there. Rye Playland is on there. So if you're in those areas, end of July, excited about that. And hoping to be able to do a couple other things. There's a couple other things that may get added in there and that I'm excited about the possibilities. Should hit Coney Island. We'll see. We will see. And so, and Caroline, well, okay, so here's another thing that the ones on the Zoom call, they got to see an early preview. We have some good ideas. There may be changes. So, but I don't want to say anything for sure like this. Maybe. We'll see. Once we have everything finalized, we will definitely announce. Have I ever wanted to go to New York? I just want to go to New York, whether it's Christmas or not. I've never been to New York City. I have flown in and out of JFK Airport, so I did get to see the Statue of Liberty from the air. But I've never actually been in New York other than the airport. So it's something I would love to be able to do at some point. We will see. Yeah. Crazy Nate. Okay, so here's a story for you with the mug. Because it uses the same mug. At Silver Dollar City, you had to use a drinking cup that was in theme if it was going to be out on stage, out where the guests could see you. If it was in your break room or something, it didn't matter. But if you wanted water while you were out where the guests could see you, you had to have something that would fit the 1880s theme. Hence the mugs. We have two of them. One is mine. One is actually my wife's. This is what we used at work to keep our drinks in while we were working. So that's where the mugs come from. Yes, official Silver Dollar City stuff. Let's see. Sometime, yeah, you got to get to New York. Absolutely. What's your favorite sport and team of all time? 2, NASCAR and NFL football. You can actually see right there a couple of the NASCAR cars. Favorite team, 49ers. San Francisco 49ers. Has been since I was a little kid watching Joe Montana. And I have always been a huge 49ers fan. I am excited about this year, even though we've gone through 2 quarterbacks. Got a Mr. Irrelevant leading the team and doing an amazing job. So that, and then in NASCAR, I was always a Jeff Gordon fan and a Darrell Waltrip fan. I actually liked DW back when he was still known as Jaws. That'll take you back a long ways. And then going forward, there's a couple guys I like right now. Kyle Larson's been a favorite because I lived in the same town Kyle Larson's from, so he's kind of my hometown guy. And yeah, Drew, his favorite NASCAR driver, Kyle Larson. I also Chase Briscoe. I really like. There's a couple other guys I really enjoy. So, how about the Sacramento Kings? The Kings were just terrible the whole time I lived there. I'm not a huge basketball guy, anyways, but yeah, Kings are okay. So, Caroline, they won last night. Oh, that's right. Caroline's up in New York. I'm so sorry you're a Seahawks fan. Squash. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed last night. So, let's see. Have you had Dirty Snowball at Silver Dollar City Saloon? Nope. They just serve root beer. So, thought your favorite NASCAR is whichever one you're in at the time. Well, yeah, if I'm in one of the cars, but no, I do have. There's honestly probably about 4 or 5 drivers that I do really enjoy right now. So Kyle Larson, Chase Briscoe are the two that come to mind right away. Eric Jones. Okay, so here's a nice little trivia thing for you. They're not together anymore, but at one point, Eric Jones was actually dating a young lady whose last name was Bernash, who is actually she's a third cousin once removed or something like that. She is actually a distant relation of mine. They're not together anymore, but hey, I'm going to root for anybody dating a relative. So, but yes, that was kind of fun. But I enjoy NASCAR. There are a couple guys I definitely don't care for. I'm not a Denny Hamlin fan at all. Yeah, and I basically there's a couple guys that are old loud whiners. So, but yeah, those are the two sports I really follow. So, yeah, last night was Illinois, today is New York. Yeah. Well, no, did I say New York? I thought I said you were in Washington. No, because I said you were a Seattle fan because you're up in Washington. Did I say New York? If I said New York, I did not mean New York. I meant Washington. So, do I like Hamilton? Well, to be totally honest with you, Hamilton, I bought tickets the day after they came out here for the February tour in Springfield. Yep, my daughter and I are going to see Hamilton. I love Hamilton. Hamilton's great. Everybody's saying, you said New York. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I was thinking Washington. I meant Washington. I knew Washington. I said New York because we were talking about Coney Island. So, Chase Elliott fan. I like Chase. I wish Chase would talk a little more. He's just very, yeah, I won. Yay. He just has no personality. Do I like the Giants? I don't follow baseball so much anymore. If I were to pick a baseball team, it would be the Giants. But I mean, I quit watching baseball decades ago after one of the strikes, and and so every now and then I'll pay attention. I'm a San Francisco guy, so 49ers and Giants, not the Oakland Raiders, not the Oakland A's. So yeah. But no, I just don't. When I got married, one of the deals I made with my wife was I was going to cut back on the sports and not let sports be a big thing. And so, the sports I didn't care about as much, like baseball and basketball and some of the others, really kind of got sloughed off. And I don't spend a lot of time with those. So it's just now it's NASCAR and NFL. And then, there is another sort of, if you want to call it a sport or not, but my daughter and I do have a good time watching AEW. So there you go. Old school wrestling fan found a new addiction. Yeah, we do have a lot of fun with that. That came out of a deal with me telling her, you need to watch something with me. And she's like, well, if you watch something that was interesting, and it just evolved, and so we do that together. But yeah, we have fun with that. So, anyways, it is 8:40. I know some people want me to get this recipe typed up. I've got a long day of work tomorrow. No joke. Tomorrow will be a 11 and a half, 12-hour day. So I don't want to be too wiped out for that. So I am going to get ready to sign off here. I hope you all have a wonderful time. I will be back on Sunday evening, live from Silver Dollar City, shivering away in the cold, but hopefully I can show you all the lights live online and have some fun there. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, been too long since I've shared the park. So hopefully we will see a bunch of you at the same time. So we will catch you all later. Have a wonderful evening, a wonderful holiday season. I know we've got at least a couple Jewish people, so happy Hanukkah starting Sunday. Hey, you can start off Hanukkah watching me in the lights. And then Christmas here in a week, and Kwanzaa, and all sorts of other stuff. So have a wonderfully blessed holiday season. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night. God bless.